Koyoharu Gotouge adds on to the demonic lore that in the Demon Slayer series. I discuss this and more in today's episode. Welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the unusual and out of the ordinary literature that I've found in my travels. Today, I want to talk about some manga. I'm back on that manga grind. And today's manga is all about demons. I am referring to Demon Slayer Volume 2 by Koyoharu Gotouge, which was published around 2016-2017. I've talked about Koyoharu Gotouge on this channel before. Refer to my Demon Slayer Volume 1 video for more information about him, but for those who don't know, he is a manga writer. His real name isn't a matter of public record, and he's written a couple of one-shots or manga series before, and so this is, I think, some of his more fresh work. I don't think he's published anything since this beyond an anthology series, so don't know what's going on in that world, but an interesting writer. I did enjoy Volume 1. Volume 2 has left me with a feeling of wanting more, like not from this, but just wanting more from what Demon Slayer could be. But I'll talk about that later. Without further ado, let's talk about Demon Slayer. I will do a summary, a little bit of analysis, and we will move on from there. So Volume 2 of Demon Slayer picks up where Volume 1 left off. Tanjiro had joined the Demon Hunters sort of society, and he is tasked with killing a test demon. Basically, he's being tested. He has to kill this demon, and this demon has a vengeance against the person who trained Tanjiro. But Tanjiro manages to kill this demon, wanting to ask it questions about how to get his sister to turn back into a human after she's been turned into a demon, but the demon, he doesn't get a chance to do that. However, Nezuko does wake up from a coma, but never really explains why she was in a coma, and Tanjiro is called to another town to do Demon Slayer duties because children are disappearing. And in this town, Tanjiro and Nezuko both fight a demon. The demon is confused why Nezuko, a demon herself, is fighting on behalf of a human. And again, Tanjiro tries to ask the demon about Muzan, who is the main head demon, but the demon insists that she's not allowed to tell, and Tanjiro has to kill her. And so Tanjiro and Nezuko go looking for Muzan in Asakusa City, which is just a large city. And I think Tanjiro manages to track down Muzan, but he manages to get away. And instead, Tanjiro runs into a demon doctor who has sort of sated their lust for blood and is now walking amongst humans, doing good with her demonic boyfriend, demonic lover. And the demon doctor says that they want to help Tanjiro with his sister's problem of being a demon, but they need Muzan's blood in order for that to happen. However, Muzan gets wind that someone is looking for him, and he creates two minions to go after Tanjiro. And as the story comes to a close, there is a fight between Tanjiro, Nezuko, and these two minions, while the demon doctor is trying to help as well, and it sort of ends on a cliffhanger there. In terms of analysis, there's a little bit worth talking about here. It is interesting to see Gotouge add to the demon lore. It's interesting to see the creation of demons, how they get created, and their loyalties, and their personalities, especially the demonic doctor. Because why do they become a doctor? Why are they not feasting upon human beings? Why are they doing good? That raises a lot of questions about demons in general. But if demons are born sort of wanting to lust for blood, why did Nezuko not end up that way? I'm sure Gotouge is going to answer that question in due time. But I also think it's strange because this is like the the Lord of the Rings, where Frodo has the ring and is told that it's a corrupting force, and then he goes to and finds Tom Bombadillo, who wants nothing to do with the ring almost immediately. So doesn't that undermine, the world you're trying to create? At least I happen to think so. Other people disagree, but I do think that painting demons as like this horrifying force, and then showing that the sister is not feeling that way, or that Tanjiro is able to control her, raises a lot of questions that Gotouge has to answer in an effective way, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that. But I do think there's some early signs that that this is going to be a troubling read for me, and in terms of feeling a bit rushed. There's not a lot of time to really dwell on anything, and I felt like the problem in volume 1 as well, where like his sister is turned into a demon up and he's just moving on to the next part. There's very little time to reflect on the feelings. It's very action oriented, and I feel like that's a drawback, because if your big theme is family, you're going to want to sort of explore that, and there hasn't really been a conversation between Tanjiro and Nezuko since she was turned into a demon. So I feel like we're missing a little bit from what this series could be, and judging it from what it is, because we're supposed to judge it on what it is, not what we want it to be. I do think it's a bit lackluster. Everything feels a little bit rushed. The characters aren't really that interesting. The action scenes aren't really that interesting. And I do suppose I'm comparing it against something like Berserk. And this clearly isn't Berserk, but I don't think it's even as interesting as, things that aren't Berserk. Death Note, for instance, is really compelling, and this doesn't feel as compelling as Death Note. There's just nothing really drawing me to it, so I feel like I'm gonna have trouble really continuing with the series or purposely seeking it out in the future. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Demon Slayer Volume 2. It's an interesting read. It's okay. It captivates in some way, but I don't think it's compelling enough to recommend to other people. I think there's probably better mangas, better comic books in general, that tell this type of story and manage to do so more effectively while giving you some things to chew on in the process. And Demon Slayer doesn't really appear to be doing that. I know I seem to be saying this at Volume 2, but seeing what I've seen so far, I don't think it's going to get more exciting from here if this is where it's starting. Maybe it's setting up a lot of world building, but I do think it could have done that more effectively or more entertainingly or something like that. So I think it's not just 2 volumes, it's 10 chapters, because that's what's in each volume. So if it hasn't done it by this point, I don't think it's gonna really excite me. But if I find it at my local library, I will continue the series, but I'm not gonna pursue it outright. But anyways, those are my thoughts on Demon Slayer Volume 2. If you have any thoughts or want to comment on my review, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that other people can find out about this series if they want to explore it, or this author if they don't know about them. And until then, I wish you the best of luck in your weird and demon hunting travels. Farewell.